Alright guys, today we are starting a new playlist, solving NeetCode problems using C#. If you are preparing for coding interviews or just want to sharpen your problem solving skills in .NET, this series is for you. And we're starting with the classic two-sum. So basically we have an array of integers, nums, then we have a target, and we are being asked to return the position or the indices of the two numbers inside this array, which will sum up to give the target. So basically this is the condition, and I should not be equals to j. Basically what we are saying here, what they are telling us is we cannot reuse a number, so we cannot do a number plus itself, right, to find the target. And we might also assume we have at least a solution. Alright, so okay, and we should return the indices in ascending order, so we start from the smallest. Definitely. So we have an example here. Let's take a look at this. So basically target 7, and 3 plus 4 here will give us 7, so we return the indices. So position 0 for 3 and position 1 for 4. Right, so let's jump into the code. And okay, so basically we'll start with a brute force approach, right? And basically you're going to have two nested loops. So let's just code it out, and we'll have these. I always like my code to be clean, sorry for that. I'm not not sorry, but it's always like a good practice, right? So then we'll have these. Let's see, we'll have these, and basically what it's going to do is we want to have this first value. Stop on that and check it and compare them with all these other ones, right? Then have this one and compare with all these other ones, same. So basically if we are here, we have to, for j, for the I, if I is here, for j will be starting here, so we'll have I plus 1 here, right? Basically, and j will still satisfy the condition, this condition, right? And increment that, and basically we just like have our condition if like nums of I plus these nums of j equals to like target, and always good to put them in brackets. It's always a good practice, right? So we just can evaluate these first before we compare to these. So if that's the case, we're going to return, and don't forget we return what? Return the actual indices, the indices. So we'll have smallest, then okay, and if that's not the case, just come here an empty array of integers. I want to return empty array of integers. So I'm sure this will work, so let's try this out. Okay, so we have the two cases passed, right? So but for this talk about complexity, this will not be the most efficient one, because for time complexity, we run into a O of n squared, right? because I have a nested loop here. So I have a loop inside a loop. So basically time complexity for these will be big O of n squared. So how can I represent here? Okay, n squared basically. And for this space complexity, we basically have big O of n, right? So this will not be the most efficient algorithm to solve the. Alright, so basically the idea behind us using the dictionary to solve the two-sum problem in order to have better performance, right? So sorry for the drawing. So this represents our dictionary. You know, this is key value pair. It's a key value pair. So right. So basically what we're going to be doing is we have our array of integers, right? And we are going to be doing a loop. So looping through all of the elements in the array. And for each of the elements, we're going to be evaluating these, right? And you know, these nums of I will give us the actual element, right? So basically what will happen is we'll have these. For the first element, we're going to evaluate these, which will give us 9, the target, this is the target, right? Minus the actual number, so which will give us 7. And we'll check if 7 is inside our dictionary, which we see here there's nothing. And if that's the case, we'll add this number with the corresponding index. So just for reference, we'll have the index like this, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So once that's done, we'll now loop through the next element inside the array, right? So let me just clean this quite fast. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for 7. We are going to complete this, so we'll have 9 minus 7, which basically gives us 2. Then we'll check if 2 is present inside our dictionary, and that's the case. If that's the case, so we return the index of 2, so 0, and the index of 7, 1. So that's the idea behind. Alright, so let's implement the dictionary approach. So basically the solution with the dictionary approach. So let's just call the dictionary numbers, right? And basically it's going to keep like the elements in the array with their corresponding indices, right? Then let's create our loop. And have these, right? And basically as said earlier, we need to have like we compute like the difference, and that's what we're going to be checking. So target minus this, right? And that's all what we're going to be checking. If numbers contains difference, right? What we do is that we basically return yeah, array of integers, right? And basically we have these and these, right? And if that's not the case, we're going to add the array number or the array element inside our dictionary, right? I don't know if I'm making sense. So with the corresponding index. So at the end, if we don't find anything, but obviously we are sure we have like at least a combination of numbers which will sum up and give that. So let's just return our empty array of integers. And with this solution, I think this is going to be much more efficient than the brute force. For time complexity, we have big O of n and space complexity big O of n. So let's test these out. And basically this is working. I would definitely recommend you to use LeetCode. So this is an incredible tool for you if you want to prepare for your coding interviews and data structures and algorithms in general. So you have them all here. You have the question and you have the solutions here, right, with various programming languages. So this is very an awesome tool for you to practice, right? If you want me to continue this NeetCode C# series, drop a comment with the next problem you would like me to solve and subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. Take care.